Fantastic. Sounds like you're all excited, so let's get started. Now we're going to start off with some milk out here. The milk which we're going to be offering is a normal full cream dairy milk. Haven't added anything to it. When we're ready, the guys will show you our first position, which is what we call a sip. I can hear you all out there going, oh, well, what about a round of applause? Come on, both around. Excellent. Now, for those of you who have a cat at home, you may have seen them sitting in positions very similar to this. However, generally a domesticator is trying to get you to give them some kind of a treat reward, or just trying to get you to open up that can of whiskers a little quicker than what you're currently doing. Whereas in the wild, it has a much more important purpose for cats. For example, say they're walking through long tall grass, trying to locate prey, trying to locate position, maybe they're trying to pick up a scent mark on another hanging branch or rock. This is exactly how they would go about doing that. And they can sit in this position for extended periods of time. For us, it's also an excellent way to give you an idea of just how big they are. Obviously though, if they push up on their back legs, they're going to be a little taller again, and that's what you're going to see now when we get them to stretch up into what we call a rise behaviour. So there we go with Rama and Solomon, won't be too far away. Now, if you can imagine that Keith and Dan here in just a moment are a tree out there in the lawn, and so they would lean up against a tree like this, digging their claws in the bark. Of course, it's going to feel really nice for the stretching of ligaments in and around their claws. Helps to keep their claws in tip-top condition by removing any dead bit of claw that might be there, and also helps to mark territory. So any other cat moving past that tree, they're going to be able to see those claw marks and know that it is some other tiger's territory. So it's no wonder that every once in a while you will see us tapping them on the ball. This is the way we discourage them from digging their claws into our shoulders, because as you might imagine, it doesn't tickle. Now you're probably looking at these guys and thinking, how is it that they're capable of holding up 185, 200 kilos on their shoulders? And I guarantee, if you had a private conversation with you, we'd tell you it's just that tough. But the reality of what you're seeing here is that the tiger is doing the work. So you're going to see that now when we get them to go into what we call a freestand or a fight stance, and you'll see that they're quite capable of supporting their whole weight on their back legs by themselves. In this position here, the tail is used almost like an extra leg. Freeing up the top paws means when fighting with an opponent, they're going to be bashing out of their face area. And this is why they have the collar or ruff around their face. It very simply is designed to absorb blows to the face area. Now, lions are called one step further than the tiger. They've got the thick, bushy mane. Not only gives the appearance of being a lot bigger than what they are, but also gives them extra protection. And this is important because lions are the only social cats in the world. They live in a group environment, which means that they fight far more frequently than other cats that will go to great lengths to avoid confrontation. Now, once they've used this technique to gain control of the fight, got their opponent on the ground, they'll then strike out with their main weapons, of course, their canine teeth. Now in my pocket here, I happen to have a plastic replica of a tiger's canine. The guys are going to give you a glimpse of the real deal, and what you're going to notice is that only half of the tooth is exposed. The thickest part, the strongest part of the tiger's tooth is very deep in their skull, which gives them lots and lots of extra strength. Now this is also important because they're capable of bringing down prey that weighs 5 times their own body size. So for a cat like Sultan, that's up to a ton in weight. Baby elephant, baby rhino, particularly the large deer species, things like sunbury, cheek-tailed deer, they'll kill birds, monkeys, and even gaur. Now to give you an idea, a gaur is like a great big water buffalo, so of course these animals have their own protection. You don't have big strong teeth like this, you're certainly not going to be able to eat them as a food source every day of your life. Alright guys, that is the end of the milk behaviours. How about another big round of applause? We'll have a final look at the tiger's teeth there. That's the simple things out of the way. Now this next behaviour that we're going to show you is one of my personal favourites. I first saw this from Rama and Sultan's father many years ago. Now this particular day, myself and one of my colleagues were walking him through the park, and it was my job to go ahead and ensure that there weren't any animals around. Now I must have been asleep because I didn't see this peacock in this garden. But Mohan sure saw the peacock. The peacock saw Mohan coming and decided, I'm out of here. And it took off straight up in the air, flapping its little wings, hard as it could, up into the air, and Mohan said that's not going to do you any good whatsoever. In fact, he dragged the handler, still holding on to the leash, off the ground, into the air, and that bird stopped talking pretty quickly. Now there wasn't much else for us to do except to go, we have got to train that for our presentations. And unfortunately we haven't been able to train the peacocks very successfully to come out here and show you what we've got. So we're going to show you what we come up for a piece of chicken. So off the rock beside the pool here, we're going to attempt to get salted to show you what we saw all those years ago. So even watch the speed that he picks up, and this is just a trot for a tiger. Here he comes, pretty keen. Oh, how about that? Come on guys, nice and round. Does make you feel just a little sorry for the peacocks, doesn't it? Alright, now from one type of jumping to another, we're going to show you a distance jump. So platform to platform, or log to log here is a distance that's only 3 metres. They're quite capable of jumping up to about 6 metres, and as Rana's going to show you, he doesn't even need to run up for that, he's just going to hop from there up to the platforms as well. When he makes the platform jump, we'll give him a round of applause. Here he comes, nice and easy, all the way over Rana. Nice and slow today, but that's okay. There we go. Big round of applause. Now Keith's going to jump here a couple more times again, and I want you to notice his tail. Watch it flip right up over his back. This gives him extra forward momentum. It also helps to balance out his large frame when he is in mid-flight. So they use their tail a lot when they're running, when they're jumping, when they're climbing. They use it as a fly swat, so the tail is very, very important. Now they can also reach an estimated speed of about 55, 60 kilometres an hour in about 3 seconds. So they can move very quickly when they want to. They can't sustain that for very long, possibly only a few hundred metres. But I think Keith's going to bring you back one more time, and then we'll bring you back down the front. And how about we give him another round of applause as he does so. He's done a great job there, making it look pretty simple. Alright, now so far the behaviours we've been highlighting for you, behaviours that tigers would need to master for survival. What we're going to do now is show you a technique of training that makes our lives a whole lot easier. Very simply, it's called mark training. A mark is a piece of wood that the guys have got in their hands here, throw the mark on the ground, tiger walks over and places both front feet on it. There is nothing hard about this, stand on a little bit of wood and you get food for it. So the tigers work out that this is the easiest behaviour that they're ever going to have to do. So this comes in handy though when we want to do health procedures with our tigers. We want to take a temperature, we want to give them their yearly vaccination, get the bedding nice and close. Even more complex things such as x-rays and ultrasounds can be done on fully conscious animals. And there's many facilities around the world that would just love to be able to do that. Now the other thing it comes in handy for is doing media work. You can see our tigers moving from one place to another under complete control for verbal commands, hand commands, as long as we continue to feed them. So this comes in very handy for a couple of reasons as well. Firstly, it's a lot of fun for the tigers to get out and do the media work, documentaries, those sorts of things, but it's also very important for us to raise awareness of what's happening with tigers out there in the wild. So most people are unaware that 1 to 5 tigers are dying daily to supply the world's trade in their body parts. That and habitat destruction as well as poaching for their prey will see the end of the tiger within the next 10 years. Currently, we have around 3,000 tigers. 3, possibly 4 subspecies are already extinct, so they're in a bit of trouble. So not only are we raising awareness, we're also raising value for the funding. So that goes back to the wild, mainly to pay wages, to keep people out in the tiger's environment, to keep the poachers out of there, to keep the loggers out of there, to give the tigers at least a chance of survival. So guys, if you'd like to help us out here at the Dreamworld Wildlife Foundation, there's a very simple way that you can do that today. Our donation box, which is on the back wall over there next to the stairs to the tea house, a great place to start. Just where we guarantee to you there are no administration fees or set-up fees. Every single cent that goes in there goes to India, Sumatra and Russia to help save them. And at the moment you might be thinking, I can't afford to put much in there. Guys, it doesn't need to be much. We get 1 million visitors to Dreamworld every year. Everybody throws $1 in, we get $1 million a year. So guys, even the 50s, the 20s, the 10s, they all add up for us. So if you can help us out today, thank you very much. Now that is the more serious side of what we do. Personally, I think that's what Tiger Island is designed to do, to make a difference to the lives of the tigers in the wild. But it's the behaviours that bring people to us. And this next behaviour is quite interesting because a lot of the early literature will tell you that tigers cannot climb trees. The theory here is that the tiger is too big, the claws are too small, there's no way they can support their weight in a tree. So out of you all out there, who would like to see Sultan climb this tree right here, right now today? Anybody? I've got a couple of people a little bit excited. Come on, who wants to see a tiger up a tree? better second time round. So Sultan here could quite easily climb all the way to the top of the tree. I think you understand why we don't take him up there when you see his dismount. So whenever you're ready, Dan, let's get him up there. He's going to go a bit over, just slightly over halfway, like that. Too easy. He's going to finish off what he's got in his mouth there, and then he is just going to turn around and let go. Let's give him a big round of applause. Now he's a big tough tiger. Falling from the top of the tree up there like that is not going to hurt him in any way. But doing that every single day of his life for a presentation is going to long-term take its toll on his joints. So that's why we only ever take him up halfway. Now hopefully you also noticed out of that if you are being chased by a tiger, climbing a tree is completely out of the question. Alright? Alright, now earlier in the presentation we got to see a pretty good jump from Sultan off the rock over there. Who'd like to see another one? Anybody? Yeah. Well, who'd like to see if we can get Rama and Sultan in the air at the same time? Yeah, that'd be cool? Alright, so this takes a little bit more timing and coordination, and that's where you come in. I'm going to count to 3, and I want you all to shout, jump, as loud as you can. Reckon the louder you shout, the higher they're going to go. Now we'll have a quick warm-up so everyone knows exactly what's going on. 1, 2, 3, jump! Not too bad, not too bad. Alright, handlers are just about ready. Rama needs to lay back down. Handlers are ready, tigers are ready, you're ready, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, go! Oh, how about that, guys? Nice and loud for the cats. What a fantastic effort. Now, guys, you'll see a couple of extra bits of chicken being thrown to the cats here. This just lets them know that we think that they've done a fantastic job for you here this afternoon. Guys, before you do disappear, I'd just like one more time to remind you of the donation box. I think you'll agree with us out here, the tiger is far too precious, so if you can help today, thank you very, very much. Other than that, on behalf of myself and the whole team here at Tiger Island, enjoy the rest of your day here at Dreamworld, and bye for now.